So today we're going to go into our next series of mobility, and we're going to focus mostly into the hips today, okay? So all you need is a mat, so come grab it and come join me for your mobility sequence today. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is come up onto our knees, okay? Taking our knees directly underneath our hips and extend the toes a bit back behind you. Taking a deep breath in, we're just going to tuck our tummy in towards our belly button, and then overarch the back and sweep up. So we're doing a modified cat-cow onto our knees, okay? Take your chin in towards the chest, round up the spine, and then inhale and lift, open up. Now what I like to do is use my elbows to round forward and create this nice oval position, and when I go into my cow position, my fingertips out, my elbows are back and my chest is opened up. So I feel a little bit more of an arch here. Taking a deep breath in, one more, and then exhale, open. So this time we're going to go straight into it. We're going to take our hands straight down ahead of us and we're going to widen up our knees, okay? So our hands are going to come to rest over our shoulders, and our knees are going to come a little bit wider than shoulder distance, and you're going to find where is suitable for you. But all I want you to do is just make sure your heel is in line with the knee on both sides, okay? Flexing both sides of the toes. All we're going to do is push back with our hips, come straight forward. We don't want to push it too much because we're not quite warm yet. And we're just going to go into some gentle hip mobility sequences. We're opening up the groin area. I want you to ensure that you're taking care of the back by making it flat, by pulling that belly button in, and we're just moving in and out of these hips. When I first did this, oh my goodness, it was excruciating. I could barely move forward and back. And if that's where you are at the moment, it's okay. You can just pause in this position and you don't need to move forward and back. The whole point of just shifting forward and back and the weight in the forearms, the palms, is it just distracts you that little bit more. We're getting a little bit more of a movement flow in those hips. And what you'll find is it starts to become a little bit easier. But all I want you to do for this one, we're here for a couple more seconds. I just want you to breathe through this as you inhale, pull that belly button in, exhale and wide. Inhale and exhale back. Couple more. Okay, beautiful. Now to come out of this position, what I'm going to get you to do is push into the palms, draw that right heel in, that left heel in, sorry, opposite sides, walking yourself all the way back. But I want you to come up onto your toes, okay? So we're keeping our toes down, our heels up. Taking a deep breath in, and we're just going to walk those knees down. Beautiful. So if that was a little bit difficult, we've got something to practice on in the future. Taking a deep breath in, knees directly underneath your hips, and we're just going to push our hips forward. Taking a deep breath in, left foot forward this time, okay? So I want my knee to be in line with my ankle. My foot, my toes are forward, and I'm just going to push into the floor as I'm coming back in again. Now in this position, all I want you to do is just make sure your back's nice and straight here. And as we push forward, I still want you to tuck your tailbone in so we feel a stretch. So we're not sinking down and collapsing, okay? So I want you to pull in our right side as we drop into the stretch. Come back in. So a really good way is taking the back hand forward and the front hand on top of the hip, whichever side you want to go in. You're just getting a stretch on both sides, and you'll know when you overarch because your palm will tilt, okay? Just two more, dropping into this position. So my back toes are still curled because that keeps me stable. Good. Okay, loosening up that left leg, swapping sides just for this moment. Taking a deep breath in, hand across and to the back. If this helps you, drive forward. And obviously if you swapped and your knee is not directly underneath your heel, just adjust it to where you feel is good for you. Just be aware that one side might be tighter than the other, and that's okay, just accept it. We are asymmetrical, so we tend to have a dominant and a non-dominant side, and that's okay. It's not to make them equal, it's just to make your body aware of what you need to strengthen and maybe take care of a little bit more, especially when you're coming in and out of some difficult positions. Okay, so taking a deep breath in, we're going to stay on that right foot, taking our both hands down, and we're just going to kick our left leg a little bit further back this time, okay? Relax that back toe, and all we're going to do is just move forward and back and side to side. So we're going to create a square with our hips. We're just going to literally rotate and circle one way. So you're going to feel a little bit more. It's almost like you're just drawing a big circle with the bottom of your pelvis. Now this time I want you to open up onto the knife edge of the outer foot of your right. Okay, so the knee is going to open up and I want you to still circle. We're still circling in the same direction. Now if this is too much for you, remember you can keep it planted. And you can keep your circles smaller. So when you're feeling a little bit more open in the future, you can, it depends really on the day. You might be feeling tighter on some days over others. So you can increase the range of movement. Circle the opposite way this time. I find this a little bit easier because I can shift my hips back. Beautiful. Dropping yourself into a nice stretch position, taking the weight into your left hand this time, and if you've got your right foot on the knife edge, you're going to take your right hand and push away with this hand and stretch into the right groin. You might feel a little bit more of a stretch into the left side too, and if you do, fantastic. We're just going to open up and hold this position. Take a deep breath in. Beautiful. Okay, taking those hands straight down, what we're going to do is taking that right foot, walk it all the way over towards your left side of the mat, okay? And then drop yourselves all the way down, and we're going to come to a nice open pigeon pose. So your right foot is flexed, your hands are wider than the mat, and we're going to lift up with the chest. Just make sure your left leg is in line and it's not curling in anywhere. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take another deep breath in. Remember, we're pulling in from our belly button. What I'm going to get you to do is just shift over to your left side a little bit more so you can deepen the stretch on that right hip. Take a deep breath in. Shift over to the left a little bit more. Find a point where you can feel the stretch and hold it here for 3 breaths. Taking the weight back into the palms. All we're going to do is curl that back toe in, sweep that right foot back, dropping down into our knees nice and wide, toes touching, open up this position. And breathe. Walking those hands all the way back. This time we're going to go over to the left side, drawing those knees in, before we lift forward with that left hip and left foot. Taking our hands straight back down again, and we're just going to curl my right foot back, shift my knee back, okay? So if that's a bit too deep for the side, we're just going to come to a position where we feel comfortable, and we're just going to circle in this position. So remember, if that left foot needs a little bit more of an opener, you can go to the knife edge, the outside foot, and circle. Try and open up the circles and make them as fluid as possible and breathe into it. Don't forget to tuck your belly button in and circle the other way. Not only are we getting a stretch in our hips, we're getting a stretch in our wrists as well, so this is a really good one for our wrists. Taking a deep breath in, we're going to open up and relax that right foot to make sure it's in line, and we're just going to open up to our knife edge, open up to our left side, and breathe. 3 breaths here. Beautiful. Dropping that left hand down, we're going to walk our left foot all the way through, over to the right side of our mat, and collapse the left knee down. So again, if you're feeling a little bit tight, the heel comes a little bit more towards your hip. If you're feeling a little bit more mobile, you're going to take your right knee higher. So it really depends upon where you are on each side. Spread those fingertips, TP them up, lifting the chest up, and try and shift your right hip over the left ankle. Deep breath in, relax the shoulders away from ears, lengthen that back leg, and squeeze the glutes, and then relax. Deep breath in, and exhale. Close your eyes if you need to. 2 more breaths. Beautiful. And instead of coming back into a kneeling position, we're just going to shift over to our left side. We're going to move our right foot all the way over, and I want you to grab both shins and lie down onto your back. Okay? So collapse yourself onto the floor. Taking a deep breath in, you're just going to cross your right knee over your left thigh. Taking a deep breath in, and we're going to widen up and take our heels away from each other. So this is a really, really good stretch just for the outside of your hip, your abductors, your TFL, your glute med. Just make sure the lower part of your back is pushing into the ground, and if you want to deepen the stretch, you take the feet away from you a little bit more. So you can come to the edges of the foot if you need to deepen the stretch, or you can keep your hands onto the shins. It depends upon where you're feeling the stretch today. Whatever position you feel the stretch and you feel some sort of relaxation, we're going to hold this for 3 breaths. Take a deep breath in through your nose, exhale through the mouth. And again, deep breath in. Last one. Beautiful. Relax the fingertips. Wherever they were clasping, you're going to untuck the feet, and we're just going to rotate the knees in a circle. Pushing the lower back into the floor. Still working into the belly button. Take another deep breath in. Pause and circle in the opposite direction. So this is still a hip opener, but obviously we're massaging the lower back at the same time before we move into the next stretch. So tucking our left leg over the right thigh, clasping the outside of the shins, or if you're feeling a little bit ambitious, taking the knife edge of the foot and hold position. Remember, we're not trying to lift our bum off the floor. We're trying to deepen the stretch, and if you need a little bit more, we're taking the knees away from your body. So the feet are away from your body, your knees are away from your body. One side might be a little bit better than the other, so just relax the entire upper body. Shoulders away from ears. Upper back is relaxed into the floor. Lower part of your back is plastered into the mat. Take a deep breath in and try and relax that left hip. 2 more breaths. Last breath. Beautiful. Untuck those feet, let them go. And this time, I'm going to point those toes towards the ceiling. You're going to place both feet, soles of the feet in towards each other, and we're just going to clasp it. You can either clasp your shins or you can clasp your ankles. And this is a really nice butterfly stretch, but you're protecting your lower back. So if you've ever done this seated, a really, really good one is to do this lying down, because you'll feel that because of gravity, your heels can get a little bit closer towards your groin. But we're not staying here, okay? So we are going to move into half happy baby and half into this butterfly stretch. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up our right hip by taking our knee towards our elbow. Our foot is flexed up towards the sky. Now, if you're happy to grab the knife edge of the foot, so deep in the stretch, fantastic. But just remember, when you come back into center, you're going to have to alternate your hand position. Take the left foot, knee is bent, foot is flexed, and hold position. Take another deep breath in. If you took the knife edge of the other side, pull it in a little bit deeper towards the stretch. You'll feel your lower back push down into the mat. And I just want you to breathe through this. Go to your level. Go to where you feel you need for your body. You are your best teacher. Come all the way back into center. We're going to do this a couple more times on each side. So open up to that half happy baby. So the left leg is in half butterfly. The right leg is in half happy baby. And again, if you need to take that knife edge of the foot, just remember we're flexing the foot, pushing our lower back into the floor. As we slowly swap sides, lifting our heel up towards the ceiling, and our right heel comes towards our groin. Relax the shoulders. One more on each side. Returning the left, opening up the right. Returning the right, opening up the left. Now listen carefully, keep the heel lifted on the left foot, but extend the right foot out. Now if this is a bit too much, you can keep it in half butterfly. But the whole point of this one is I want you to descend that right foot down towards the floor, and you're going to deepen that stretch around that pelvis area. Return that right foot back into half butterfly, grabbing that outside edge of the foot. As your left foot comes into butterfly, your right foot comes into half happy baby, and you extend that left foot as an option down towards the mat as you keep your right foot flexed, and a nice groin stretch happening here, pushing both sides of the hip into the floor. Try not to favor one side, especially if our left leg is extended. You don't want to be pushing over to the right side. Taking a deep breath in. Relax that right foot across the floor and open up the feet as wide as your mat. Taking a deep breath in and exhale, sink yourself deeper into the mat. Now, if you wanted to stay here and do your mindfulness, go right ahead. Stay here for a couple of minutes and just go into relaxation mode. Thank you for stepping on the mat with me today. And I hope you have a great day.